G'day guys. Okay, 7000 out the way. I've got another one here which needs a new screen. So I've got one of our high luminosity daylight readable screens here that we had made up, and yeah, I might as well, I thought, well, you know, I got the camera sitting here on the tripod, might as well turn it on and do another video. So what I'll do, I'll just get this and stick it up out of the way so it doesn't fall down and break or anything like that. Anyway, let's have a look here. Just looking for tools that have gone elsewhere. Come here, you. That's what I want, I think. Okay, first of all, when you do this, you know how you slide this part out. If you can't slide that out yourself, well, don't go any further, because yeah, you'd have no idea what you're doing. But anyway, undo all these screws, all these Torx 10s, there, and yeah, I was going to get them out. I usually tip it upside down, and I'm going to be a bit more, I don't know, civilized and do it like this. Pair of tweezers, just pop them out if I can get to them all. Probably not. Probably didn't undo that one enough, but magnetic and bits of wire stick to it. Okay, that's out. That's out. This is the boring part. The interesting bit is putting the display in. So anyway, we'll get all these out. There's a little bit of a knack to doing this and not losing the screws. That's why I'm using these pointy things. Come on, out you come. Just pull the screws out. That one's not coming because I probably haven't done it properly. It's probably only hanging by a thread. If out to come, there we go. So we got to this point here where we've undone. Let's make sure the camera's pointing at this because it's offset to where I am, so I can't see it properly. There. One there, one there, one there, one there. There, you can't see, can you? There, over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So anyway, we get to this point here, and you want to separate this, but it might pay to loosen a couple of screws on the head unit, but we'll see. We'll see. Usually these things are chock full of red dirt. I think everyone over in WA uses them. So we'll get this bit out. That's come. Yeah, as I said, it's full of red dirt, and it's 10 times as much in there, if not more. So off that comes, and wiggle. There we go. Pull it back. Pull it this way, and out it pops. So this is how you get. Jesus Christ. Yeah, as you can see, the thing is just they fill up with dirt, so you can probably give them a good clean. So, oh, yeah, without that, I did pull one apart once, and it had spiders living in it. So you got to be wary of that as well. It's not a good thing. If you want to pull the cable out, make sure that you observe how the cable goes back in and which way around it went. And need more room on the bench. It goes like that. That's how it goes, because you're going to pull it apart and you're not going to know how it all goes back together. You see a little ferrite bead there? You see that center post? Sits on top of that like that. That's how it goes back together. Just so you know. And even if I forget, I refer back to my videos sometimes because as a refresher. But we'll pull that out. And we're down to this thing. So over we go. And to make it quick, drill, Torx. This is a ratchet torque control drill. Don't do these up and strip all the things. Like if I grab this and turn it and hold it, right, it won't allow me to put a lot of pressure there. So, but this will be undoing it, so it doesn't make any difference. So get on there. So make sure you don't lose the screws. These ones here are smaller, just so you know. Put them by themselves so you don't muddle them up. Okay, let's put the drill back down. Get all these big screws. Always. Did I actually miss those? No, I'm sure I undone those. No, maybe not. No. Well, they're out now anyway. It's probably hiding behind the plastic. So we got that. Now, warning time. You may think that you can just grab it and pull it apart. Do not. Because if you do, it's got a connector for all these little things here, all these little buttons, membrane buttons, and it's got a connector strip that goes into a board on the back here. And if you do that and wrench it, you will rip through it and you'll be after a new one. So don't do that, whatever you do. I'll try and get it to a point where I can show you. Be very careful. Now I'm going to flick that up there out of the way. You can feel it when I grab, but the back of these are stuck on with double-sided tape, okay? You think I'm joking? I'm not joking. Lift up the display, use something flat, don't jam it in there hard. But if you have this, like so, don't let anything separate just yet. If you want to undo where the buttons go, it's down there, but we'll just flick. I was going to flick everything out, the starters. So I'll get my fingers in there and just do it. There we go. One, these just pull straight down, and that, you go pull that down and out, and there we go. See what I'm saying about this connector? That one there that's the one. If you pull this board, you'll rip through this and you will cry. So the way to get this out is very carefully. Just watch what I do. Put it there, wiggle. You got to remember, don't pull too hard on here, and maybe it might pay to lift this up a bit. When it gets a bit loose, I just wiggled it enough to drop it out. Hopefully, there we go. That's your display. Okay, that's that little thing that goes into that, and just you'll get the hang of it if you do it 100,000 times, like you know who. But there. And if you want to get really serious and understand everything, there's your GPS module up in there. So when you're using your detector, that's looking at the satellites up in the air. So that flat bit there, don't put anything on here, because you'll block your satellite signal. So that's the GPS module there. So it's all pretty pedestrian. And like I was saying, you think I was joking about it put in with double-sided tape. Well, that's what that is. That's double-sided tape. Like, you know, we can stick my things to it. And there. Okay. So that's what I mean. You just get in there and just lever it till it pops the double-sided tape. Take the whole assembly. Yeah, well, I don't know what else I could say about that, but it is what you see. Now, what you want to do, these little black clips here, that and that way and that way, okay? It's got them up here as well, that way and that way. Do it on a warm day, don't do it when it's cold. They'll probably snap. You could probably warm it up first. Plastic's much more forgiving when it's warm. Okay, so it's going to pop. It's 32 degrees here. Sorry, Fahrenheit. That'd be freezing, wouldn't it? No, Celsius. And yeah, it's warm. Okay, don't rip it off just yet because it has you see in there, it's got a hello guys in there. It says hello guys. You just rip me straight off. And anyway, if you're replacing the display, it's no big deal, but you don't want to yank it hard enough. You pull the connector off on the main board. Okay, now these are a tricky little bugger. And what I'll do, we don't want it falling back because it will just destroy everything. What you got to do with these, I hope you can see it good enough. Yeah, what's going to happen, I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to do fat fingers on it, so you won't be able to see what I do. Hang on, I'll loosen that off. Down we go. Now I'm getting a little bit more. The black bar along there, it has to do this. Okay, that black bar does this. Not all the way down, just like that. And you have to do it across the length of the bar, the plastic bar, else you'll break it in half. Then that'll be another issue. You'll have to get a new one, right? And I don't know if you'd have to get it unsoldered off the board probably. I don't know if you can actually just put that black thing in if you could find the connector. Be very wary of this stuff. What you could do is probably a good idea if you're going to get a piece of thin, I would get something like the plastic off an ice cream container, right? And I would make it the same length as that dark piece of plastic there and put it in there and pop it back like this. But I've done this many times and I know the feel of it. It's very brittly type plastic. You don't want to, it's tight as. Yep, it's super tight, this one. Sometimes they're not. It's got no give whatsoever. So I might, see what I use a guitar pick, and people take guitar picks, so I haven't got any. None around here anyway, I don't think. Okay. I use one of my, well, how long is that? Too long? I don't want to wrench it and stuff it. It'll be very embarrassing because I don't edit my videos and you'd see me break it and you'd hear me swear. But I really should get something to do this one, but let's have a good look. Okay. Yeah, I want to get something in there. You really want something to lever it. Damn it. I'll use one of my little circuit boards. It might be okay. Okay, mate, you're probably going to see my fat fingers, but I've got to put my fat fingers in the way because I won't have even pressure and then I'll break it. So what I'm doing is I'm doing this. I'm doing this, scooping it upwards. Okay? But just be very wary of these things, they will break. Come on. Very gently. Moving on one side, not the other. called Murphy's Law. I really don't like these things at all. Come on. There goes that. But anyway, no big deal. I'll show you something else with these as well in a minute when I get this out. I'll probably need something. I need something a bit better than that, but we'll give it a go, and I'll get it out. I've done this a lot of times. Get it moving a bit. God, it's tight. There we go. She's out. Have a good look at how I did that. The little bar, see how it goes back and forth? It's on two hinges, tiny little plastic hinges. Don't go like wrench like on it. Very controlled, like that. Very controlled miniature movements. Like I say, I've done this many times, so you don't really want to give it a hard wrench. I'll see if you can get it in there so you can see it. Hopefully we're in focus, but that's what it is. See it like that? It's on a little hinge, and it squashes down and locks those contacts against those gold colored pins down there. So if you lose your pressure off this, you're really up, you know what creek. So that's that. That is module. It's got shielding there so it doesn't cause interference. It's got clocking and stuff in there. So they can go there. Now, the worst thing is when you want to replace these displays, that plastic, you have to remove this plastic, and it's stuck on with double-sided tape, right? And it holds the display. You've got to retain that. The best way to do it, good old isopropyl alcohol. Now, what we do, don't go completely ballistic, but don't make much difference really on this as it's getting replaced. Spray, spray, spray. If you're doing this and you're going to, for some reason, clean your display and reuse it or something, I don't know what you're going to do, but don't do this because it'll get in there and it'll stuff the display too. There's a good chance of that. So what I'll do, we'll get a little screwdriver. I'll get right in on it. Now I'll just see if we're getting some of that tape. Poke it around like I'm doing here, just to let that isopropyl get in there in the gap. Hopefully it gets in there. And gets this thing to loosen up. There's very limited chemicals you can use to do this, but isopropyl works really well. Don't use acetone, it'll just melt everything. So look, I'm just wiggling it, and by wiggling it, it lets that isopropyl get under the plastic. It's really stuck down here really well, but we'll get there. We'll get there. It's so damn time consuming. I don't suppose there's any other way of doing this. There we go. See, it's coming up. You want to retain this black plastic Durkin. If I don't know what it's called, I call it a Durkin. It's one of those things we've always said. If we don't know what it is, it's a Durkin, okay? So shroud, I suppose, or holder or something. Okay. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah, just take your time and just once you get it started, the isopropyl usually gets in there and starts doing its magic. It's tight here. Oh dear me. So if it's tight, jam the screwdriver in there a little bit. Squirt, squirt, squirt. And hopefully do that. It'll start getting in. This reminds me of doing iPad batteries or phone batteries. Not that I really like doing that sort of stuff, but come on, off you come. got a lot of glue on this side of it here. Tell you, let it run down. Let it run down in there. Yeah, like I say, see, this is what happens. The plastic broke. See that? Not that it makes any difference on the back of it, but we don't want to lose our mounting. So, like I say, all this stuff is it's thermoplastics. It is brittle as hell. So if you bend this stuff more than a couple of millimeters, it will just snap like that. Like I say, it'll just snap. And I'm going to have to glue that back together. So obviously, it needs a ton of isopropyl on it to get it going. But you can see all that glue under there. Come on. It's brittle as this stuff. It's really, really brittle. This is one of the worst I've ever done. Yeah, see, that's where I put the driver, and there's bits of plastic just coming off here at the back of it. That's where the glue is. Oh, dear me. Why is this stuff They may use a blade. See if we can get it with a blade. Got to get under it. Maybe it's the hot weather and this stuff's just evaporating like crazy. I don't know. Come on. I'll flood the thing. I don't care. I'll pour it on there. I'll soak it in a minute. But this is just being absolutely ridiculously difficult. Come on. Because it's the way the glue behaves too. If you get it unstuck and it comes back down on itself, it sticks again. It's horrible stuff. Come on, off you get. Oh, it's starting to come. But you've got to keep it wet with the isopropyl, else it'll just glue down again. Okay, that side's off. We've got to get on here. You've got no idea how difficult this is. This is really, really difficult. And all I want is a holder. I don't even want the display. Off. Come on. Yeah, it's just got glue, the glue galore on it. Oh, dear me. This is just absolutely ridiculously crazy. It's stuck down really hard on this stuff here, this mylar on the back of it. Goes like cutting a ham sandwich. Get off there. You can see the glue on it. You don't want to let go. That's why you got to be careful on this sort of stuff. You don't realise the glue. It's tons of it there. Off you come. I've got it flooded full of isopropyl. You feel the glue there. My God, it's spongy. Come on, off you come. Off you come. Be good. It is just like snot. Get off. God. It's unbelievable. Hooray. Hooray. There it is. Anyway, I cut the ribbons, getting that off. So this is this glue, this stuff here. It is just sticks like proverbial. It doesn't need that much glue on it. I'll tell you that right now. Stick it over there. So, yeah, there's the plastic bit, and that's what happens. So we have to glue that back together. And this stuff, this is like a thermo type, brittle as hell plastic. It is really brittle. It's absolutely horrible stuff. And yeah, we'll just have to glue it back together like so. Actually, you could just put it on the display like that and glue it down on the display. It's not going to move in a million years. But yeah, this goes to show. I might get someone to print some of these up, the 3D printer. Yeah, I'm probably zoomed in too far. How's that? I might get someone to print these up with a 3D printer because that is just unbelievably brittle. It's absolutely terrible. So that's what we got with that. And yeah, that glue is absolutely just horrible. That's what I mean when you do this sort of stuff, you know, you got to, even knowing what you're doing, you're going to have hassles with it. Yeah, look, it's tape. So you got to get under the tape both sides and get the glue off. It's really on hard. So I'd say that if a certain company was replacing the screens, they would be, at my guess, replacing it with the black thing already stuck on probably. Because I don't think they're going to waste the time trying to save it. But it balls up. It's horrible stuff. Very, very sticky. So we put that down that way. Put that over there. And line it all up. Stick it back together. Thermoplastics like this are notoriously brittle. And it's very thin. So, yeah. That's how the display is. Absolutely terrible. See, that, like even trying to get the glue off, and if you had a good display and you wanted to save it, you can't because you're gonna rip the mylar connections straight off the back of it, cut through them or whatever. So There's nothing you can do about that. But we've got a brand new high intensity, high lumen, higher refresh rate display to put in, and that will be quite good for this. But yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that. With some of these thermo glues, you can actually glue them together with super glue. They stick quite well, but I would probably rough it up a little bit and put a very fine line of epoxy on it. That's why I would do it. Some people probably wouldn't even bother. They just put some glue on the back of it all over and stick it on the display, because if you look at the display, it is all metal. It's going to hold like hell, so no problem there. So yeah, that's a new display. It goes on. When you put it in, you're going to make sure that you definitely put that mylar, well, not that way, of course, but put the mylar through the hole, and yeah, it should all go together quite nicely. This goes on the other side and goes around that way, of course, but anyway, I have glue on my fingers. That's knotty glue stuff, so I don't really want to touch the display and get it everywhere. But yeah, that's the some of the trials you get with this stuff. It's the only thing that really attacks that glue. If you use stronger stuff, it will totally destroy the plastic, and you don't want to do that. You want to keep the plastic. But yeah, we'll glue it and fix it up like so. So I hope that was of some entertainment. The thing of putting it back together is a complete opposite of pulling it apart in the same sequence but reversed, and it should be very, very easy to do, because otherwise we're going to make a great whopping huge long video, because I'm going to have to wait for glue to dry. I don't start, edit videos. I just don't do it. So it makes for a crazy long video. If I did that, you'd see me mucking around super glue. But anyway, I'll put it all back together. Well, I'll glue it up, then I'll put it back together, then I'll show the finished result. Anyway, I should have done it, but I can't do it. It didn't damn well work properly. Yeah, I've got another one here. I can run the high intensity or display next to one with the normal display. You'll be able to see the difference. But I think I might have already done a video with that about 50 videos back. I did a display out. I had the sun blaring on the display and videoing it, so you could see how bright the display was. You see it in full sunlight, not a problem. Absolutely brilliant. So anyway, I'll clean all this up and I'll get into it, and then I will do one on the finished product and catches.